What is up, TEW fans? Jolly J here, bringing you episode number 2 of Freedom Caribbean Wrestling. We are back for the Fight for Freedom 9, and this is actually the big show, at least in my opinion, for FCW of the year. The problem is, since I revamped the roster and the storylines and everything, we haven't really had much to build to, so it's pretty much just a normal show. So next year, we should start making it seem a lot more important than the other shows. But as far as this year, it kind of is what it is. So without further ado, well, actually, let's further ado it a little bit. All we know about this show is that there will be a tag team match between two new teams to the roster, and the winner will face the Puerto Rican boys for their FCW Tag Team Championship. So now, without further ado, let's jump into the show. So here we are in the Gymnasium of Guada in front of 1,000 people, and Hell's Bouncer opens the show, comes to the ring, of course, all menacing, to a chorus of boos, and says, "I am the most dominant force in professional wrestling. Last month, I destroyed the best that Mid-Atlantic Wrestling had to offer. I destroyed Greg Gage, the Mid-Atlantic champion. And he didn't even have a chance. Because I am Hell's Bouncer. I am the Colossus of FCW. And all shall fall before me. There is nobody on the roster. There's nobody in the territories who can stand up to me, who can defeat me." And Puerto Rican Power interrupts him and says, "You know what, Hell's Bouncer, I kind of got tired of hearing you talk, but I do have to say that you're right. Last month, you did defeat Greg Gage. You did defeat the Mid-Atlantic champion. You didn't destroy him like your inflated ego is telling you you did, but you did defeat him. And you know what, Hell's Bouncer? We don't have a number one contender for you right now. We don't have a contender on the roster. We don't have a contender in the territories right now. So let's fix that. Tonight, we will have a triple threat match. And the winner of that triple threat match will face you, Hell's Bouncer, for that championship." Now, who is in this match, you may wonder? Well, first of all, this is the land of opportunity now. This is the new era of Freedom Caribbean Wrestling. So in order to fill one of the spots, a random member of the roster was selected, and that lucky superstar was Kip Keenan. And then another participant, we will have Handsome Stranger. And the last participant, Hell's Bouncer, you're going to love this. He is your new best friend, Rudy Velasquez, as a chorus of Rudy chants breaks out in the crowd. And so Puerto Rican Power basically walks away. Hell's Bouncer looks furious, not because Rudy is in the match to potentially get a championship match against him, just because he said his name. Just because Power said the name Rudy, Hell's Bouncer almost just went into a fury with all the hatred he has for Rudy after last month. So an 80 rating, a little lower than I expected, but you know, sometimes that happens. But that is the first segment, just establishing our main event and getting some screen time for Hell's Bouncer as well. Now, let's go to the next segment. In a poor match, Princeton Price defeated Mutant in 9:55 by submission. So, pretty straightforward match here. Mutant basically dominates until Princeton Price hits his babyface comeback and then picks up the win by submission. A big win for him, though. He performed better. Well, not better. He performed almost as well as Mutant did, even though he's like a fraction of the overness. I mean, I think he had 3 overness before this match. And still not too bad of a performance. Not a great match, but you gotta have some shit storms before you can find some gold. And so after the match, Princeton Price is celebrating. Davis Wayne Newton runs down to the ring and just basically knocks Princeton Price down from behind. Um, he's not vicious about it. He just does a forceful attack and knocks Princeton Price down, who turns around and he's not shocked or anything. He's not overacting. He's just a little flustered by what Davis Wayne Newton did. And so Newton doesn't keep attacking or anything. This was basically a I'm still here, you need to remember me type of attack. So he does that, and then he just leaves the ring. And so Price is kind of sitting there wondering what just happened. Why didn't he keep attacking? Why did he just leave? What is he doing? So they continue their rivalry there. 28 rating, not great, but again, I'm not expecting it to be great yet. As we go to a throwaway match of sorts, Extraordinario Jr. debuts and defeats Rob Reynolds in 8:14 with a Siempre Peleando. So this match was to show Extraordinario Jr.'s skills as a debuting superstar, and Rob Reynolds did a great job of putting him over. A very good bubbly babyface rating for Extraordinario Jr. That's just what I picture him being. I picture him being a fun person to be around. He's an extremely positive influence backstage, so I just picture him being a fun, happy, happiness, infectious, whatever person. And yeah, and seemed to go over well. But this was just to show his skills, his high-flying skills, his athleticism, and I think it did. It did. It got the job done. A 40 performance. Now, Extraordinario Jr., I think, had a 5 overness or something in the Puerto Rican region before this match. So, very good performance from him. As we go to the tag team match to determine who faces the Puerto Rican boys. I keep forgetting their names for some reason. For those tag team titles in a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. The Wildcats defeated Rapid Attack in 10:21 when Tigre Salvaje Jr. defeated Rapido by pinfall while using the ropes for leverage. So a pretty straightforward match here as well. Exciting, high-flying, fast-paced match. Just trading high-flying moves until the Wildcats get a little bit of an advantage and Tigre Salvaje Jr. is able to use the ropes to get the pin. But a really good match. 54 rating for that match. Got some good gimmicks. If we look at the performances, Tigre Salvaje Jr. with a 55 in-ring performance. And he's a mid-carder. So really good job there from these two tag teams. So the Wildcats win the match. They will go on to face the Puerto Rican boys for those tag team championships. And Puerto Rican Power comes out, says, congratulations, Wildcats. You have earned the right to face the Puerto Rican boys for the championship. And I am here to announce that will be next month in March. We will have the Puerto Rican boys versus the Wildcats for the FCW Tag Team Championships. And camera shows Tigre Salvaje Jr. and El Jaguar. You think they'd be excited about it, but they're more just like, well, no shit. They know they should be the tag team champions anyway, and it's just a matter of time. But this was kind of a throwaway segment as well. It wasn't really necessary, but I wanted to give Tigre Salvaje Jr. and El Jaguar a little more screen time, give them a good segment to be a part of, as well as continue the rivalry between the in the tag team division. Geez. Sometimes you just completely blank on what you're saying as you're saying it. But a good rating, 88. As we go to the back in the interview area, Rudy Velasquez with Mariam Vega, and she says, Rudy, everybody wants to know, where are the other Latino kings? And after a few seconds, Rudy says, it is nobody's business where the Latino kings are. Nobody else needs to worry about them. They're doing their own thing. They're taking care of their own business, and they'll be back when they're done. And nobody needs to be concerned about them, especially you, Hell's Bouncer. What you need to be concerned about is Rudy Velasquez, because I am going to take that title from you. You may think you're this big, dominant, menacing monster, but you're not. You're nothing, Hell's Bouncer. The better you think you are, the harder you're going to fall when I defeat you for that championship. You say all shall fall before you, but you don't even know how hard you are going to fall when I defeat you in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3, for that Puerto Rican championship. So Hell's Bouncer, don't worry about the other Latino Kings. Don't worry about what they may do to you. You need to worry about Rudy, because that is a name you're going to hear over and over again as I pin you and as I defeat you and as I take your championship. And Rudy walks off, kind of mediocre promo from him, but and it's, well, 34 rating, a pretty poor promo. I was meaning my promo skills were pretty mediocre there. But a 34 rating, you know, that's still higher than his overness. So to me, that's a good thing. As next, we have our triple threat match. Now, I'm going to leave it on the interview segment here because I want to go through the triple threat match before I actually show what happens, because I want it to be a surprise. So all three make their entrance. You know, pretty standard. Rudy comes out last. Crowd chants Rudy, 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 and the match starts. And Rudy and Kip, both baby faces, immediately decide, without even talking to each other, that they need to take out the handsome stranger. And they do so. They team up on him, beat him down, hit some suplexes, some slams on him, and then send him to the outside where they follow him out there and then just whip him into the post as hard as they can, and that essentially just knocks him out. And so that's at least a few minutes, probably about 5 minutes of the match there. And so then immediately as he hits the ground, Rudy and Kip start brawling with each other, where Kip starts to get the advantage. I mean, he's a bigger guy. He hits a little harder. So he gets the advantage and pushes or rolls Rudy back in the ring. And then he follows him in there and just starts to ground and pound him, using his size to his advantage, locking in some chin locks, doing some little punches to the head while he's in the chin lock. Kip's a bit of a technician, so he likes to wear down his opponents. And so Rudy eventually able to get back to his feet and starts to get a little bit of a rally going. Some punches, some forearms, some running forearms, and he hits a running forearm and stuns Kip. Doesn't knock him down, but he stuns him. And then he tries it again, but Kip retaliates with a kitchen sink, and leading to a little bit more ground and pound. But Rudy hits the babyface comeback once again, and again hits some punches, hits some forearms, hits some other moves like a drop kick or something like that. And excuse me. Then he finally hits an atomic drop, and out of nowhere, the street cutter, which is Rudy's finisher, he hits the street cutter on Kip, quickly goes for the pin as Handsome Stranger's still down on the outside, and only gets a 2 count as Kip is able to get his shoulder up. Rudy looks shocked that he did not get the pin. Very few kick out of the street cutter. And then Hell's Bouncer appears on the stage and starts to make his way down to the ring. As he's walking down to the ring, Handsome Stranger, beginning to stir on the outside, gets up, starts to get back in the ring as Hell's Bouncer is on the other side of the ring. And Rudy, naturally distracted by Hell's Bouncer, Kip Keenan still down from the street cutter. And Handsome Stranger takes this opportunity, hits an elbow to the back of Rudy Velasquez's head, really stunning Rudy, and then he just kind of pushes him to the outside. And at this moment, it's a no DQ match. Hell's Bouncer picks up Rudy and a vicious damnation drop on the outside. This whole time, Handsome Stranger just staring at Hell's Bouncer and Rudy just watching what's happening. And out of nowhere, Kip Keenan rolls up the handsome stranger. 1, 2, 3. Kip Keenan is your #1 contender for the Puerto Rican Championship. What a win for Kip Keenan. He's actually mid-card right now, mid-carder. In a decent match, Kip Keenan defeated Rudy Velasquez and Handsome Stranger in 1827 when Kip Keenan defeated Handsome Stranger by pinfall with a roll-up, and we saw Hell's Bouncer run in and attack Velasquez. So, I mean, not a great match rating, but not terrible. The tag team match was better, but we do see Rudy with a really good performance. Kip Keenan nearly performed as well as Handsome Stranger, despite a very large popularity difference. So, huge win for Kip Keenan. He gets a chance to face Hell's Bouncer at some point for that Puerto Rican Championship. But after the match, Handsome Stranger realizes what's just happened, and he is furious. He immediately jumps up and attacks Kip Keenan from behind, knocking him out of the ring. And he follows him out there and just continues to assault him with mounted punches. And while this is happening, Hell's Bouncer throws Rudy back into the ring. Of course, he wants to be the center of attention, so he's got to be on the stage, in the middle of the ring where everybody will see him. But he throws Rudy back into the ring and slides in there and immediately picks him up and hits a damnation drop. So as Rudy is laying there lifeless, as Kip Keenan is laying there lifeless, Handsome Stranger leaves ringside and just kind of glances at Hell's Bouncer and keeps walking away. Hell's Bouncer sees him walk away, but he's not done. He picks up Rudy again. Another damnation drop in the middle of the ring. That is the third one on Rudy. And he picks him back up. He grabs the back of his head. I don't even know if Rudy has hair, but he grabs him by the back of the head, the bandana, whatever he can grab to hold his head up. And he has him on his feet, and he looks him straight in the face. Rudy is pretty much limp at this point, though. And he says, "You will fall before me." And he pushes Rudy down, face first to the mat, and just stands there, glaring at him as the show ends. And there we go with that. 77. I forgot to click next. 77 rating for that angle that saw Handsome Stranger lose it and attack Kip, and saw Hell's Bouncer destroy Rudy, for a lack of a better word. Both storylines gained heat, and a 77 rating. Not too bad. So that's the show there. 48 show rating, not the best. But, you know, we're trying to build stars. We're not relying on the older established stars. We're trying to build new stars like Velasquez and Keenan and even Hell's Bouncer to a point, even though he's pretty over. So we're trying to build these stars and see what we can do. But that's going to be it. That is it for Fight for Freedom. And next month, I have no idea what I think it's. I don't remember. I want to say it's Freedom of the City, but I can't remember. But anyway, we'll be back in March for the next show. If you enjoyed the episode, leave a like or a comment. Any support you guys show, I really appreciate. I've actually had several comments so far, and it's just been a day or two since I uploaded the first and second episode, and that is awesome. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate all the feedback, and I try to get back to all the comments, and it's fun for me. So anything you guys do is just awesome. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode for March, whatever that show is. Thanks for watching, guys.